What's up, Pyromaniacs? Pyrostasis here. We are back in Call of Duty Black Ops 2, doing a little FFA on cargo. We are still rocking the MP7. I've got the silencer and the laser dot on it. This seems to work out pretty well for me for the most part. Although there is a bit of a transition going from assault rifles to SMGs. But once you make that little transition, it's sad how well these things do at range, and I figure it's just time for me to stop fighting it. But today we're going to be talking about kind of an interesting topic. It basically revolves around corporate greed, specifically Activision's corporate greed. This is a company that their CEO or their president, I forget which, about 2 years ago, has more or less run it by the community that if it were up to him, we'd be paying like $100 for our games and things along those lines. And I don't know. I understand everybody wants to make money. Obviously, you know, for my position, I'm in a I make money off of gaming as well, and I can understand where they're coming from. But at the same point in time, you know, there's a big step away from, you know, making money and then nickel and diming the hell out of your people. And Activision sometimes does seem to kind of lean towards the nickel and diming type setup. And today's topic, we're going to basically be covering that and why I think it might be hurting their initiative. So anyways, they're trying to make Black Ops 2 an esport. And for those of you who aren't aware, esports is basically just kind of like professional sports, except nowhere near as big. These people have teams, they work together, they practice, you know, they put a lot of time into it to be able to play at a certain level, certain skill level that allows them to compete against other teams that are basically doing the same thing. And it's a very high level of gameplay. For Black Ops and for Call of Duty type setups, I believe they usually play Search and Destroy, which is a game mode where basically you have one life and you have to try and get to the package, and while defending yours, and then whoever manages to destroy it in a best of 5 or 7 or whatever the tournament rule set is, and you have your winner. Well, the issue with these esports people, so to speak, is esports people make all of their money very similar to the way I do with streams and with YouTube and with contract deals and sponsorships and such. So for them, all of their money is basically based around these events and advertising these events, promoting these events, and then getting paid, obviously, for the events while streaming in the meantime, et cetera, et cetera. Well, Activision, one of the big features that they were promoting prior to Black Ops 2 was this live streaming feature. You were going to be able to live stream while in the game. And I think their first mistake was they partnered with YouTube. And some of you guys be like, well, YouTube's huge. Why would that be a mistake? I mean, Google's awesome. Well, I agree. Google is awesome and YouTube is huge. But YouTube is not a streaming platform. I mean, it is, but it isn't, if that makes sense. YouTube's current streaming setup is very, very poor compared to most of the other gaming setups. It may work very well for politics or news or other demographics. But when it comes to games where interacting with the host and such on a very frequent basis is part of the norm, it's very difficult setup to work with. They use comments instead of a chat room. So the way the comments scroll as a viewer or as a host, it is very hard to keep track of who's talking, and it's just a very bad system. Not only that, but monetization. Obviously, for most other platforms, the way it works is you have a button that you press to run ads. So in between games, let's say on Call of Duty, I click a button, you guys see a 10-second or a 30-second ad or whatever, and then we go back to doing our stuff. It's like a commercial break. Well, because you're playing games, those breaks aren't easy to set. Well, the way YouTube works is you basically have to set those breaks in advance with Wirecast, which is also a software that most gamers don't use. And it's basically the only effective way to monetize your stream on YouTube. So those problems make it a little difficult for a streamer to use. Well, then you've got the fact that only on League Play is streaming even available. And as of today, there were like less than 5,000 people when I made this video on the League Play. So finding a match is a pain in the butt. There's a very small player base. You're going to have lots of downtime. And it just seems like the average user in Call of Duty has absolutely no desire to partake in the League Play, which is probably about right. I mean, most people in any video game are just there to have fun, just to play around, etc., etc. So it seems like Activision is kind of shooting themselves in the foot with that as well. The final kind of nail in the coffin is, as I said earlier, these esports guys are in it obviously to pay their bills as well as have fun. So for them, this is their work, this is their job, and streaming and such like that is how they make their money. Well, with the live streaming feature, you aren't connecting to your YouTube channel. You are connecting to Activision's YouTube channel, or Call of Duty, however you want to say. And all of the live streams are through their service and through their partnership. So you lose all monetization rights. So any money, basically you're making Activision money while doing this live stream, and you don't see a dime. And they really, I mean, for Activision, it's a win-win, because they don't have to pay to really, do the servers, because YouTube takes care of the servers. They don't have to promote you because you're promoting yourself, and they don't really have to do anything other than just collect a paycheck. And it's just, I don't know, it seems a little shady to me. I understand where Activision's coming from. It's their game and they want to make, as much money off of it as they can. But if they want this to be esports, if they want esports to take off, then, the only way it's really going to work is if the teams are behind them. And unless Activision takes care of those individual teams, which it's possible that they are doing, I don't see this catching on. As a small, well, I guess I'm not small, I guess as a medium-sized YouTuber and a small streamer, I will not ever use their streaming service because, no offense, I'm not getting anything out of it. I'd rather use Twitch or Own3D. And I think the vast majority, considering there were 20,000 people watching Call of Duty on Twitch yesterday, it seems that Activision has kind of come up with a bad game model here. So let me know what you guys think. Personally, I think Activision should allow partners to log in with their own YouTube accounts and set it up. I honestly think they should have signed with Twitch as opposed to YouTube. That would have been a little bit smarter setup, and they probably would have gotten a lot more use out of that feature. But I would like to hear from you guys. I know for those of you who aren't into the YouTube or esports, it does kind of sound like a money-grubbing type setup, but it really isn't as money-grubbing as it sounds. It's mainly just, this is how we pay our bills, and we just simply want to be paid for the content that we're doing. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Do you think this is a good idea? Do you think it's a bad idea? Do you think Activision is doing it right or wrong? Let me know your thoughts. I would love to hear them. Hopefully you guys liked this video. If you did, click the like button. Make sure you subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next clip.